Damn, yo. Take a good ass stretch, yo. What's good, stream? We're back, and same thing as usual. Today is Wednesday, the 11th. About 20 minutes till open, so I'm just gonna hop right into it. So, jump on Forex Factory. So we know we had CPI news, 8:30, and was should be pretty volatile, but we're gonna see. We are going to see. So, um, we'll jump to our 4 hour and start dropping down just like usual. So one thing I know I'm gonna mark is that I'm gonna mark this right here. So we have really, really like relative equal lows. And that will be our sell side liquidity right beneath, right above a 4 hour gap. So really prominent draw on liquidity. What does that also align with? Equilibrium of the range. Very prominent draw of liquidity. So let me just mark that. Just put 4 hour EQ, purple, just like that, bam. So we know we have a lot of that resting. And if you look on NQ, it's damn near the same thing. We have a lot of resting lows, you know, where right above a 4 hour gap. And, that's something we just want to note to see what happens. And, we take that same EQ, just gotta take it on the 1 hour. And where does that line up with? Perfectly inside that gap. So we could expect some form, of rebalance down to this. So now I'm just gonna, mark out more things that, possibly could be deeper targets, just, in theory. But normally I just mute up while I do this. So I'm gonna mute up. It's not gonna be a muted stream like how it was yesterday, but for now, until I'm done charting, I will do that. Word. So pretty much done. Like I'm not gonna mark out anything else. If I were to find something that happens, you know, then I'll mark it. But I pretty much got everything I need marked. Like, look, we got a 1 hour above us, right? We got a 1 hour fair value gap right above us that NQ dug into, put in the SMT right off this, right off that right there. Put in the SMT, sold us back lower. Boom. Excuse me. What's that shit? CPI. CPI had dropped, and bam. So CPI dropped. Jump down to the 30 minutes so we could find our high, our data high and low. CPI works if whatever low gets taken, bam, the high is probably the next draw. So what I'm looking for is whatever high wants to get taken, because if the high gets taken first, then I can expect us to probably dig up, take out this high with it, right? And then along with tapping this 1 hour fair value gap, getting rid of this bearish SMT, then possibly, taking buy side. Whatever happens after that is, just can't control. I don't know. If we want to get up all the way up here to the, this high up here. But at the same time, that's just what the whole just waiting part is, just wait to see, because my also understanding is, look, if we want to take this low first, then take sell side liquidity. Look, we got equal lows right there. Hella generated or NQ. And then ES, hella equal lows right there. And then say we want to take this low with data low, and then, probably stop somewhere inside this 4 hour, and, EQ, it makes so much sense that we would do that, right? Then want to run higher all over again. Because we would rebalance to equilibrium, and then with that rebalance move, we would be able to, be like, all right, we can clarify. Sell side liquidity is swept, EQ is met, maybe an SMT somewhere, who knows? But all those things will create, confluences and, confidence with the trade that possibly could be taken. So that's just my understanding. We have our highs and lows met of data lows and, highs. Or not, I didn't mean met, but we have them set. So other than that, market opens in about 10 minutes. We just wait and see. Honestly, it would be nice to see some form of, high get taken first, to then short down to these equal lows, and, sell side / EQ, target here, and then target the 4 hour, leave a runner here, because that's like almost, so that's 69 points. This is it's almost like 60 more points to leave a runner. From even this low right here, that's 891. So we'll just say 900 to 760. So about 130, 132 points, something like that. 100, whatever. But, the same thing is like, if there's reason to, then, then the market will do it. That's the one thing I know. Like, if there's reason, the market will provide that. So just knowing that, just knowing whatever one gets taken out first, we have a reason to move back higher, and or lower, either or. So either or works in this like scenario. That's kind of why, just I'm not gonna personally mark out nothing else besides this. If there's not a trade because price action isn't aligning, then I won't take the trade. It's really as simple as that. But if something aligns very, very perfect and just looks super nice, like we have a huge 1 hour to take buy side, daily high, not daily, but data highs inside of that, like, to me, that's clean. It's a 1 hour high. and or I should say a 30-minute high, because it'll be the open, but still we could expect, like, once we see that retracement, if we get it, then we can expect something super clean. But I wouldn't even belong that to data highs. Why? Because there's no like clean model. Like, if you look, we put in that SMT here, just like that, and then I want to see what this looks like lower time frame, to see like what does this change look like. We put in the SMT there as well, so we got SMTs bullish, but like, look at the change after the SMT is put in. We'd expect a change all the way up here, right? Data highs right there. So we'd really want to see this change in order for us to be like, all right, I can slap a long on stop loss right there confidently though. Bam, right here is the change. So 2-minute model, super clean change, and then we change, we pull back to it inside the gap as well. Your long sum right here, stop loss beneath that gap, even at the SMT low to data, damn near 1 to 2, even if you were targeting the 1 hour, 1 to 2.3, middle of it, so on. So I'm sure there is a cleaner model, but other than that, it's just looking like the 2-minute was the cleanest. If I drop down on this chart, let's see what we got. We got a 1-minute model, super clean. 2-minute model, not bad. And again, look at the 3-minute change. Where are you expecting that pullback to? You just don't know from there. But other than that, we're just gonna be watching. About 5 minutes to open, so we got our understanding that like we got a form of a sell-off, but we're kind of seeking a little bit more of that sell-off, like just a little bit more. But if we're gonna go take out this data high first, then yes, I will be expecting that low to be the next prominent draw, and it's also a very key draw. Why? Because that's where the market has stopped each time before even digging into this 4-hour, right? And this low alone so prominent because that's where the SMT is, so I'm looking for that low to then be taken. So we're just gonna wait patiently, wait for something clean, and see. That's bugging. But yeah, so I'm just gonna have this little 30-minute pulled up real quick. Perfect. Now jump on the 5-minute, a little bit more cleaner, can see more. But yeah, so we're just watching at this point. Damn. So again, like I said, we're looking for either or, data high, data low, which one, based upon CPI. This is how CPI works. So whichever high gets taken or low gets taken, we'll mostly look to target the opposing draw. So it looks like this one's gonna get possibly taken first, along with some buy side up here, and a 1 hour. Excuse me. And then you gotta remember also, like, ES is in this higher time frame, 1 hour as well. So like this buy side can get met, that 1 hour can get met. I'm looking for it all though, just because a clear reason that we would want to go lower. Like, this is mainly what I'm really seeking right here, because equal lows, you know, wide open 4 hour. It's a 4 hour draw. And it's prominent with, you know, EQ resting there too. Just looks really good. But you gotta let the market, you know, decide them factors. And that's what gives you, you know, that confidence. Because I still have a reason. I had a reason to target, you know, higher first. But if we're already doing that, hands go off and you just do nothing and you just watch. So all right, so we got a minute to open. And it looks like that is where, you know, we're starting to get to. We got to change out of that right there. Jump to the 3 minute. We got to change out of that as well. We really are seeking this high. Matter of fact, yeah, it wouldn't be this high. That's not really. But we're looking for that SMT high to get taken out, you know, so we have like a reason. But at the same time, if we still fail and we fall short of that, then we know we'll have an SMT. So just looking for a clear reason. But here we go. Got market open. Bam. Data high is taken. Simple. Let's see if ES wants to pick up too. And then we're looking to see that buy side level met as well. Jump to that 1 minute. Let's see if ES wants to pick up. If ES does not want to pick up, we know we have an SMT higher time frame. And then we'll look to, you know, take those shorts, but just gonna hold down, relax, be patient, right? So we're looking for this gap to hold, right? And then for the highs to get taken. If that doesn't happen, and I'm seeking a change out of that, knowing we have a SMT at the highs. But again, like I said, I still want that to be taken, but either or works. So we're looking for that change right there. If we don't take that, if we do, then just erase that. So we're inside that 1 hour. We took out that data high. That's what it looks like. And then we have buy side resting above us too. 15-minute gap too, possibly to hold price. We have reason. Right now, we did not take out the high on ES. We're starting to look like we want to put that change in. We're just gonna wait, confirm it on both of these indexes. You know, that's just a fill of a 30-second. So we're gonna watch this 30-second, see if you really want to get there. But we'll see that. So not gonna go short until, you know, this reason. So bam, right there. Put in equal highs. Bam, swept. All right, so now we know that both of these are swept. And that's a good thing. So now on this 15-second, we're looking for this to hold, right? If it does not, we put a change in here. and on NQ. So seeking to both do the same thing right here, putting that clean change. See, NQ is super close to that buy side level. So, but then we're in a 30-minute right here. So let's just see what this 30-minute does, if it wants to hold price or if we still would, push through that and get that full change. So see if we have the same thing here. We are in this 30-minute right there too. So we do have a reason to then, sell back off. But the highs have been taken, and we have confidence that if they're taken, we can target lower. But we need a change to be put in. And we still have that bearish SMT. So it has to just be a clear change with some displacement too. But it looks like we're holding here. We also want to see an internal high ran. We got an internal high on NQ to be ran, but just not ES. So right now we're just going to be patient. 5 minutes into the open, so ES is looking to start getting lower. So just wait right here, patient. NQ has a nice 30-second model as well, right there, if that ran it, but looks like ES is starting to, get that push, but we are just playing at the moment. We also have that change down here too that we can base this upon because we still want to have more confirmation. So we're looking for a change here, and we're also looking for that to be here. Obviously, this is not holding, so we're going to be waiting at this point. I feel like right now, just where we're at, we're not putting that change in fully because we have NQ right there, what resting buy side inside of this 15-minute. And that will put in a really nice SMT. So it's something I'm just keeping my eye out for. Change in the state is still right here because we have a gap that we have to run, and then we put the change in there. But I would like to see displacement out of this. So if we put displacement in, we put a change in, I'm sure. So that 1 minute's looking kind of just playing around. 2 minute, which filled a 2. So right here is a time where you just keep your hands off. Just monitor, look. Because we're just going back and forth. We're not putting in a clear, displacement move. So in that point in time, just wait. Again, if we're gonna start kind of easing our way back up to that buy side, but we're respecting too, we're still in a 1 hour. We're still in a 30-minute, buy side has been taken. This high has been taken too. So we're just looking for that external. So with that, simply just wait for this. But this isn't even, let's be real, it's not clean. We're in a 5 minute, we're respecting that 5 too. So we're really just holding right now. Price is just holding, simply. That's it. Let's mark this 30-minute that we know we're in. change is still down here. That's the gap that held. Once we get an internal high ran, some displacement and a reason to, move this change, then I really wouldn't see the need to. I like the change down here too. So it's gonna hold on. We're gonna wait. Yeah, it's really not much happening. We're really just going sideways at this point. So we know that buy side level all the way up here. Looks like that. We're inside this 1 hour and this 1 hour down here. So it's gonna be a little slow. Markets and a lot of PD arrays imbalances that will hold price, kind of sell it, and it's gonna just be a lot of manipulation in this point. So we inverse this gap, right? But if I was short, stopped. But the reason why is like I'm looking for that change too, off of one candle, inverse displacement, all of that. So internal high gets ran right there, still just not that clean. So we're probably looking to go higher here. We filled in a 2-minute at the open. So all we did was just, fill that too. Just don't want to stay too zoomed in, knowing that that's up there. So even like the longs would have been like pre-market, down somewhere here, 9 o'clock. Not really, not looking for that. So this point in time, patience. We're just gonna wait. So data high is taken. Internal high gets ran. Even on the 1 minute, it's internal high now. Gets ran too. So could look for something clear here. We possibly can get a 2-minute change, but still, we held this 2-minute right there. So just want to see, like I said, I think we're just gonna play around until NQ takes that high. So I'm just gonna really be patient because I do want to see this high get taken. It's so much more clear of like an SMT to be like, all right, we're like we are playing around, and we're not even trying to get all the way up here. But if we do, then we do. But even to then take this high, we're in a 15-minute up there. So it just makes some sense. The Q is starting to get that push. Like this is like, this just isn't the price action you want to see. And like I said, if it picks up, then you have every right to trade it. But like, if like you shouldn't be trading it just because it's just not looking well, then like this just doesn't look well. So like you gotta have the patience to really sit through damn near everything. Because if you can't, then you'll short yourself like a lot. So now we're starting to look like we're getting that like displacement, but again, my change is still down here for many reasons. And then I also want to see NQ pick up. So like if we're just in this 2-minute, then I don't really like that. But if in the next minute, if we put a 2-minute change in and run that gap with that 15-second change, then I'm all for that. So 944. If all that happens, this is ran, changing the state. I'm confident in that then, because it looks like we're just playing. You feel that top 15-minute fair value gap up there? And also a change down here too. $16 more seconds. 4 lines up with that low. It looks like we're going to get that. A 2-minute doesn't get ran. So bam, we run it. I'm gonna sell 4 here. Stop's gonna go at the high. So I'm just gonna sell 4 based upon what price looks like. 2-minute gets ran too. If we get that 2-minute change right here, again, I'm all for it. 1 minute opened up. We're starting to get that displacement. We fail to take out this high, but that's for a reason. So only putting on 200 right now. We're targeting daily data lows. So a 2-minute gets ran, change of the state gets put in, change down here. This 1 minute change is nice validation too. Pull back to the change. And this and inside that 1 minute too. Stop's gonna go right there. It's about 165. Put in the change. Tap this 1 minute fair value gap. See what NQ does. I want to see NQ hold as well, since we're that close to that high. I don't want to see that just be a little rebalance. That was also a fill, you know, with this 5-minute on BS. So fill the 3-minute. But just what we ran, how much the displacement looked like, it did look, you know, clean. That's displacement that we want to see. Now, if we change out of this and this bullish gap does not hold, I'm gonna look to add. And I'm obviously gonna be targeting that low. Gonna sell here, or sell 3 here. I want to see a change fully out of that. 7 cons on, risking about 300 on this trade. Excuse me. Turn that up just a little bit, and I will be just, you know, trading to this low right here. Two-minute change gets put in right there. We pull back to it. Just want to see, you know, some form of displacement out of that. Nice risk on $300. I like the trade. I like the setup. So I'm just confident in this one. I'm holding it, and you know we're not gonna do nothing else. So took out the lows. We filled everything we needed to fill, and you know if we were to go take out that buy side level, we should have up there. So But if we're not going to take it out, I'm seeing that this 15-minute is also in play and it's still holding, as well as that 30-minute. So that's just going to lead me to believe like we're going to fail to fill that. But with that, with that also not getting met, that's a good thing. It's still a good sign, and it's still a sign of, we are bearish, and bearish orders do want to get inside this market. And that's something that you just want to recognize. So macro's going to open up in about 2 minutes. And we're going to be just seeking that, that move, excuse me, lower with the push to go lower. So I'm at this internal low right there. I am looking to go break even. It's a 5-minute low. And it's resting relative equal lows right there. So I'll just be looking to go break even. Soon, my stop will just be tightened up just based upon what we did. We have a 2-minute right here. If we want to open up this 2-minute in the next couple seconds, I'm going to drag it lower. Stop will go here now, at that 2-minute change, even above that inverse. So now I'm risking $138.75 based upon this 2-minute opening up. This 3-minute is going to open up soon. So we'll keep it at this 3-minute wick. So we're risking $200 on this trade. So just the fill of that 1 minute, we're going to keep our stop loss there. No need to pull back up there. For one, we got to recognize, like, why are we not going to need to pull back up? Well, we changed down here now too, a 1 minute. This up there was a 15-second change that we pulled up to. So we pulled back up. We did the work all the way up here. We don't need to pull back up there. So if we know that, and we can just limit the, the loss if, market just feels like it doesn't want to go to where it wants to go, then that's it. So $200 on the line. Once we get to this break-even level, we'll be break-even. And, we're just going to hold on to this trade fully. This is one of those times where I just need to work on holding, and like just having confidence that I know, not that I know, but I have a confident draw. I have, S&T, this S&T along with that daily low. And, I understand that's where I'm targeting, So I do want to trade this to the equilibrium, but I'll take off a limit buy. We'll take off 5 here at that low. Limit buy 1. So we're going to take off 6 here. We're just going to simply let a limit order of 1 contract just work us down to equilibrium. I do want to go break even when, all this happens. So this gets taken or break even, and then bam. So other than that, I truly don't feel like I need to analyze this trade anymore, like as much as like I was, because you want to analyze it when you get in the trade. But once you're in the trade, like, no need to overanalyze. No need to like overcomplicate anything. We're just looking for NQ to start picking up, put a 1 minute change in, and then as long as that, as well as that 2 minute change, and other than that, we look clean. So, in my opinion, there ain't no need to really overcomplicate nothing. Got a 3 minute right here, opened up in favor. Risk is gonna start getting a little bit tighter. Right there, above that 2 minute inverse. Don't need to come back up there. Also, this 2 minute opened up 2 of these. So just be looking, with a $138 trade. Risk on the table, limit buy down there, break even at that mark. So I'm gonna mute up real quick, be right back. We're just gonna let this trade rock. All right, so I didn't really even get to leave before that shit came into the play, but it looks like we're about to get stopped out here. So we get stopped, then you know that's probably gonna be mostly like the trade of the day, just because I'm not really looking to put on nothing crazy, especially with this. We already put a change in 2 minute. You know, right there, we pulled back up to it, and we filled this inverse all the way up until that point. I don't necessarily see the point to, you know, take anything else. Like we kind of look a little just sideways, but like I said, tighten up my risk, holding on to the trade no matter what until that break even level gets met. So if we don't, or if we do want to go, then guess what? We'll go. So now this is a point in time of holding where 2 minutes are still holding, right? And they not one, but just the one held. We're in that 1 minute. So I'm gonna look to go break even here. Because if we're gonna fill this 1 minute, if we want to get higher, it's gonna hold. So I'm gonna look to just start dragging it down just a tiny bit, working its way down for now. But if we don't want to hold, this 1 minute gets inversed and then we put in a change. The reason I'm just not taking it all the way down to the break even level yet is because we could probably want to pull back up to this change, but look how we pulled back up to this 2 minute inverse perfectly. That we inversed all the way up here. And I said, like, we don't need to come back to that high. So the trade still has reason to play out. So I'm just letting everything, do its thing at this point. No need to overcomplicate anything. But like I said, I didn't even get to dip. So I was about to, but this shit just came running straight back up. So I mean, hey, like I said, I didn't even get to go break even yet, but if it is just a manipulation, the two lines up really nice with it. So, and again, we'll get through this 1 minute if the draw is lower. NQ is, playing around like always. Excuse me. So, $100 loss on the day. Just pulled it back up to this. We want to come and take that. Hey, we'll come take that. But $100 loss is not bad in my opinion. We didn't get our break-even level met yet, so that's the only reason why, I didn't get stopped yet at break-even. I'm looking for, a significant reason to go break-even. So the only thing I can see in this whole move is break-even at the 5-hour low. I said 5 hour, holy shit. At the 5-minute low. And, this honestly looks like a manipulation move in itself to line up with the two at equilibrium. So does look clean. At the end of the day, market's gonna do whatever the hell it wants to do. But we filled a 5-minute, right? And once we fill that 5, obviously we're gonna hold, it's gonna have to do something inside of that. And if we fill that, then that means a lot of people get stopped there because that fill is gonna, spark up a move that, it's gonna take out a lot of people in the market, including myself, excuse me. So that's really just what happens. But NQ, this shit just looks dog shit right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like we get a little bit of displacement, but it's kind of filled the 5s and started just to bullshit around. So I'm gonna be real, like it just doesn't look, super super nice on here. We didn't even get a change yet, so yes, definitely, putting that change in and getting lower definitely look like the confident index, but you also have to look like pull back to this 1-minute change like once, twice, and then 3 times. See what price looks like. We're still holding a 2-minute. Get all these drawings. still holding a 3-minute. So no 5-minute though. 15-minute candle is starting to look like it's gonna hold for this 10 a.m. So again, that looks like we're gonna get stopped here. Excuse me. That's probably gonna be it. So bam, we're stopped. We're out of the trade. I'll get rid of all this shit just to see. We take that high. But like I said, we're only down 100. Not bad at all. We're still inside this macro, so I'm not done. I'm just waiting. Really gonna see what happens here. Let's take off this though. So we take out this high inside of this gap. Excuse me. But I do want to see what happens in this point in time. Look, down to 108. And I can walk away after that too. Like that's a super, like good trading day, way to like manage my risk. So that high gets taken, right? But like we're just playing. Like if NQ wants to go take this high, then I understand. But we're gonna have to wait for that, It's gonna be like that's gonna involve a lot of waiting. So just like we do all that bullshit in the morning, But again, lows are still intact. Like data high. I mean, yeah, data high is taken, so data low is like it's that next draw, but it's still intact. It's the draw when something significant happens, which I'm, still assuming buy side wants to get met on NQ, but like if you just look, like this is how it looks. Like it doesn't look bad on the 5-minute, like oh where we just fill and bam, where we fill a 15-minute, just like that. And bam, it doesn't look bad at all, but just super slow. So now look, we start to get that displacement. And that's kind of what you're expecting. Nice. So all that, in my opinion, is still, resting beneath us, still intact. I just want to see what happens here. Take out this. Looks like we're gonna push for that external level 2. Yeah. So I mean, hey, that's what happens. Shit, yeah. Like that's not really. This is the trade I'm seeing. Confident in that jump. No worries. So we take out this level. Let's see if we put a immediate change in, like on NQ here. It's 30 seconds. Should not hold if we do want to get lower. But we know we still have that buy side level 2. Damn, bro. That shit crazy. Like edged. But hey, we're still looking to, seek that. I'm liking the 30-second for still in that macro, still early, 10 a.m. Get that little reversal in too. Looking to see that change. we go here, we're break even, and we're still gonna look to hunt that equilibrium level. One minute opens up right here. Stop loss. It's above a 1 minute protected. I want to see this hold where we're at. That buy side level does not get taken. Higher time frame S&Ts put in. I just want to see a change out of this, and change gets put in. I'm looking to see lower. Still are in this macro again. That will definitely push price to where it wants to go. Clean draw right there to the 2.5 equilibrium. Take off 4 here. Limit buy order for 4. We'll let the runner go. So we want to go. Entered this trade just a little premature. Wanted to see a follow through. So we're just gonna watch. All right, yo. So trade is still on. Simply just watching. Not really worried. No concerns about this one, whether it goes or it doesn't. Right now, at this point in time, I'm just simply gonna tighten up my risk, right? So it's looking, since we got this change, it's looking to start, and it's looking to go right above here. You know, we already pulled back to the change inside this huge 1 minute inverse, which we inverse a huge 1 minute. Stop loss right now is already above it. Excuse me. I don't want to see us really trade back up into this, 15 minute fair value gap, no, 30 minutes, sorry, that we've been holding. So I'm starting to just like, all right, word, I want my stop loss to now go, above this, which that's right above, or right at equilibrium of this 1 minute. So we got now, the new trade on, not new, but, a new stop loss on. And it looks just like that, 1 minute gets inversed, we put in a change, whether it's slow or it's not. Still, like I said, I still have a confident draw, which is data low, and we're seeking that to get met. So whether my stop was up here for 275, 280, or if it's at equilibrium of this 1 minute, which I think that's where we're gonna go, 143. Now, after the loss journal done, like not really gonna keep on trying to see more out of this. After SFT gets put in, we put a change in, and we pull back to it. We're not getting no displacement. I'm done. Calling it there. So it's just right here. It's like, all right, we pull back to the change. We change out of it. So we put another change in. And it's only valid, if we actually put the change in, which we keep doing that, right? So the fact we keep doing that, and this is what it looks like, lower time frame, didn't fully get it there, but the fact that we're doing that tells me like, okay, we should be better. So pull back up once again, looking like we're heading to get stopped out, all over again. But now a pretty heavy risk day turned into, a small loss on the day, and that's just really the best that you can do. Everything, keep everything small, keep your losses small, and you know after that shouldn't really be too many concerns. If I were, like I said, I'm done after this. If I were to see like how I get stopped, right, what plays out after that. But if we just start ripping, and we're going to head out to buy side, then like, like screw the daily low, I don't care no more, or data low, just don't care no more. But NQ bullshitting, ES type bullshitting too. But this is what happens. This is simply just what happens. Not every single day is gonna be super clean, super, straightforward. But you feel me? We start getting that displacement, and then we start lacking it. We're lacking, OD. So, oh man, them longs, they were clean, but the short down here just makes so much sense. And that is what price action is, it's telling me. So I just want my stop in an area that makes sense, that like I'm not like, limiting myself. But I'm looking to go break even, fairly soon. Just what we're doing. We're respecting even inside of this gap here. There ain't no reason, we're not holding. We took out buy side, took out all these, orders up there. You would start to see, I start to fall. But again, that's not really happening. So after seeing that change, boom, we pull back to it. No displacement out of that. Here's just where, like I said, I'm gonna just hold and just let it rock. Get stopped, we get stopped. Right above this is a nice spot. And just, sit through that, all this noise. Same thing happened yesterday. Whole bunch of just, choppiness right out of the macro now. So it's a 10-10 and, a little bit after, but the macro was simply boom, retrace, and, take out, not even take out buy side. So putting the SMT, we have SMT on NQ as well. SMT inside of this gap, 30-minute. So like price action staying lower, everything is staying lower, but you always gotta, just see what really is happening. So yeah, it's just one of those days, like I said, slow, sometimes not straightforward, and it's just not really delivering clean. It delivered clean for longs. Like I'm not trying to say that, but for the shorts, not really. Like here's where I just want to start seeing this just pick up, and like if we're gonna start getting just displacement legs, like that's all I want to see out of this. Like I don't want to see this shit. We pull back up again. You feel me? Like that's like all right, we're so we did that plenty of times. Bam, bam. Now stop's gonna go there. So right above this 30. That isn't seeming to hold actually. Stop loss is gonna go right there. $125 now. We get stopped out of this one. Hey, we're done on that. Starting to finally get that, pick up, that displacement that we'd want to see. This point in time, don't care whatever internal low gets taken or not. I don't care. My draw is down here. Break even is right there. So other than that, we could do whatever. Don't care anymore. $125 is on the line. So in my eyes, that's a really good day. If I were to lose 125 plus that, you feel me? That's only 233. So 233 to make, the first time, maybe 1200 plus, this time maybe like, maybe a band plus, who knows? Don't know, but not moving my targets, not moving my take profit or stop loss no more. Just gonna let this shit play out to the fullest. We're at 400 right now, so this is a really good time to trail, not trail my stop loss, but trail, it down. Because like if we start finally getting that, displacement, how we are looking, we get that 3-minute change, 2-minute change. That's what, we're anticipating. The market's telling me short, so I take my short, I take it confidently. Getting stopped out it's not a, the most fun thing, but at the same time, it does teach me, when I took it here, it did show me like, okay, we're now, I think this is the draw up there to then maybe go lower. But from here on out, like I don't see us, we're in need to, return. Break even just got edged too. But we're gonna look for that, 5-minute change to get put in, and also just, that data low. So it's 5-minute change getting put in, as well as, this 3-minute seeming to start opening up in about a minute. Break even is okay now. In my eyes, I will call it there. Right at that change. So right now we're $12 in profit, and we're break even trade. So at the end of the day, the reason we're doing that is because 3-minute just now will open up in 30 seconds. Huge 3-minute. So, I will expect this to be the one that holds. Even if we just leave it open, cool. We'll see that, and I do want that to hold. And I am obviously anticipating that break even level to get met because that's where I am going to go there. So, boom, those lows are looking as, now get taken out. 5 more seconds. So, obviously, that 3 minute will open up. And then, obviously, on NQ here, these lows where I was meant to go break even if I took it on NQ. So, I just marked out everything just because that's what I want to see. And, that's what I practice. And obviously, we have our limit order of 4 down there, taking off 4, taking off 80% of our trade. So we'll capitalize on 80% if it wants to get met, or we're just at a break even day. Well, not break even, but just a one in one type shit. So super, just confident trade today in my opinion. But we're looking for NQ to do a lot of work here. NQ got to get down here, pick up, and from there, that's about it. So 2 more minutes until this 5 minute opens up too. That's one thing I did want to see, a 5 minute open up, as well as this 5 minute change down here. We get that. Obviously, we are seeking, much lower in the day. But just confident trading at the end of the day. Followed our rules, did what we had to do. Excuse me. So I'm done, like taking profits like early. Like, not saying that I won't if price action isn't aligning, but obviously this is what we wanted to see. Like I said, I wanted to see displacement if that's what we're gonna start doing. But I'm not gonna take it early, obviously, with a low here, and that's the draw, So if that's the draw, then we'll obviously go run that. We hit our break even mark, so no matter what, we're down maybe like $90 in the day. Super freaking clean. Like that's what makes me happy. Not winning, but damn, if I end the day and I'm only down that, man, that makes me feel, like how you followed your rules, you did what you're supposed to do, and that's all you need, at the end of the day. So, because that gives me a whole another day to come in, execute sharp, stay focused. Even if like I said, with that 125 up there, okay, I'm not looking to get, excuse me, I'm not looking to get stopped at break even. No one's looking to get that for that to happen to them, but So now I do want to see this wick stay here, and I'll just drag that down. But if we want to get a little bit higher, that's the retrace that starts happening. We'll start pulling back to a 3 minute, all that. So once that 5 minute candle is set, we did get a 5 minute change here. So, down here is just like an external target of a change, like probably like a 15 minute. So if I do this, yeah, it's a bit more, just a little bit more deeper, but still, at the end of the day, we're opening up, look clean. Could keep it in profit right above a 5, but we're just going to keep it right above this body. We came all the way back up, and hey, that's what happened. We secured a beautiful day. So it's just positioning yourself, when market aligns with you. If you position yourself the right way, then you're setting yourself up for success, and that's it. Me closing now leaves so much money on on the table, and that's the choice I decide, and that's not good. Like that, in my opinion, that's not the choice that you want to make. So pull back to a 5 minute change right there. We got a 3 minute change above us too. 2 minute change right there. We pull back to. So we got a lot of areas that the market still has every right to come back up into this 5 minute. Even as well as this 3 minute like we just did, and fill, because that stops out people. It's people who want to go and take another trade, and boom, that market coming back up right there, that stops people out. So it has to do that. That's why, like, when you're up here you're protected. Like I'm protected by this 5 minute, to the point where it's like now if we come all the way back up, it's like work, you know. But I don't see the point in trailing like a stop loss, like at this point, or even like normal, just because like the market has every right to do whatever it wants. So if I got in my trade at the reversal, like up here, where we're just like playing around, and then we finally break, we fall. That's kind of, what I'm starting to like understand. Like I want to be up here and break even. That's it. That's simply it. So, gonna take off these drawings real quick and just look at this 15-minute candle. It's a new candle. It's opening up. So, obviously, I want to see a 15-minute change get put in if we're gonna run this 15-minute gap. Like we held it first and then go to buy side, but I want to see it get ran, of course. And as that happens in these next 15 minutes, I'm probably like anticipating TP to get hit, because then like I don't really want to see us pull back up to a 15-minute gap all the way up here without like any of those getting ran. So excuse me, just kind of how you see this market, and how you can view it to your understanding. But it looks like NQ is like getting that change out. We pulled back up too. Pulled back up right to a beautiful 2-minute change in the state. That shit was clean. And then a 5-minute up here filled the 5. And then we're starting to look like we want to displace lower. So as we get there, ES's data low is right there. So that's why I have 4 out of the 5 off right there. And you can see that the data low is a little bit deeper. Sell side's a little bit deeper. The equal lows. And then also, the 4 hours just a little bit deeper. But on ES, it's a lot closer. So we didn't get that high based upon that SMT. We failed to take out buy side. Like if we were all the way up here, it would be, a little bit close. I mean, no, it would be a little bit further. So just looking for that full like follow through soon. Break even level is met on NQ, so there is like no, practically an SMT at this point in time. So no reason, to be like worried out of your trade. But like I said, I'm not letting nothing like that bother me no more, because I know if I'm targeting an area, then that's what it should be. It should be the area that I'm targeting. I'm confident about that. So, bro, shit's horrible right now. Feeling just a little ass, but hey. So right here, starting to just play around, but we're not worried. We're still focused on that low. Sell side down there as well, at the 4 hour. We're looking for that 4 hour, obviously, to get filled. You look at the candle, we're right at the body of that 4 hour candle. You feel me? So we're looking obviously for that 4 hour gap to get filled. That low, that 8 o'clock, 8:30 low, right, right there. So should be no worries, should be no fear. We're simply just holding, I don't care if we put a change out of this, So we left equal lows right there, right at the draw. So we'll just see a pullback, whatever wants to happen is gonna happen at the end of the day. So, and like I said, end of the day, bam, you know, you are break even. You don't lose on this day. Besides the trade earlier, and that's about it. So that's just what the 5 minute looks like. But yeah, like we ran this 15 minute. We want to displace like way lower than, there's nothing really holding us back just besides delivery. So pull back to the 5 minute again, pulling up to this 3 minute change up here. So we left equal lows. That's a clean draw as well, right, right beneath or right above. So no 15 minute gap will open up here just based upon that full retrace all the way back up there. 5 minute gap is very it's big because of that little volume imbalance. So get rid of this. And it'll look like that. But yeah, we're just gonna leave it right there. Shit. Super clean. So like I said, we changed out of it, yeah, but it's not really a concern. Lines up here. Cool. So at the end of the day, like I said, protecting myself for the bullshit like this, you know? So that type of stuff, it does happen. Full, just a full retrace. Bam, you get stopped out. It doesn't really matter though. You just have to accept that. So I'll probably be down like like $70 on the day, $60 on the day if we lose, and for being on the market that long, that's amazing, and just being able to call it there, just knowing when enough is enough. So not gonna continue to hunt some shit that we're playing around, and if it goes, it goes. Then it's like, all right, tomorrow's a new day. Same thing, same exact thing will happen tomorrow. So but back at a 2 minute change inside of a 2 minute gap, inside of a 2 minute inverse. There's reason to go back lower, of course, but I'm done really analyzing this trade all around. So just gonna clean this shit up. Just getting prepared, for a bullshit day. Like, nigga, great trading at the end of the day, but just getting prepared for bullshit delivery. Like, seeking that low, SMT low, bam, bam. But hey, at the end of the day, if that shit's that strong, if the SMT, like price really wanted to stop here and not go lower, then that's what it wants to do. So, about to just mute up. Just leave this shit playing. Kind of clear my chart off a little bit more. But Phil was crazy tough at the end of the day. So let's get this screenshot ready. Just to know, we were in this shit and we held on. So yeah. That shit's just hilarious, bro. Like you be on this shit for it don't matter how fucking long, bro. This shit just be hilarious. Like I swear. Like yeah, I'm talking we fucking edge down here. Putting a fucking equal low. Like, come on. Like it be that I'm telling you, it just be that stupid shit, bro. Take the low, don't take the low. SMT gets put in. It's a SMT that, if it really does wanna hold it fucking will. Like, just some bullshit at the end of the day. But man, that shit is corny, I'll tell you. It is definitely corny. Yeah. Wow. Yo, I promise you, bro. Just be the dumbest shit, man. Once you know you're only up that much, you're definitely fucking stopped. So we're right above the 5 minute. But ain't nothing really gonna stop us. Like if we hold this shit right there, if this holds, we're going back higher. So yeah, we just do this real quick. Be right back. Shit, bro. Had to call JP real quick. Had to tell him, yo, hurry the fuck up. Stop me out. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, bro. Data high get taken. Boom. Take the internal. Run to buy side. Boom. What's the next draw? Right here. What happens? Fucking edge. Like, we're probably like 4 points, 5 points. Not even 4 points away. So, like I said, like that's what we look like. Like price action, the delivery is just so shitty. It's so shitty to the point like, you can't make this shit up. So, like I said, if I seen something else after this, I would take it, but I ain't gonna lie, like I'm not trading this shit. Like and I'm telling you, we'll fucking go as soon as I get stopped. Boom, just have to change again. Like we'll fucking leave. So, I'm about to call JP. Yo, JP Morgan. Hello. Yo, run that shit to the low. I'm about to full port. About to buy 15 right here. But alright, stream. That's gonna be it for today. We're done. That shit was some bullshit today. But hey, at the end of the day, we're down 100. So still capitalized on a beautiful day. Saved profits. Let's get rid of all this fucking retarded monkey drawing and shit. Like we're just fucking idiots. We look like fucking idiots drawing all these lines on our fucking screen for no reason. So that's gonna wrap it up. Like this is just some bullshit. I'm gonna be real. Like, complete ass bullshit, bro. This shit don't make. You can't make it up. You just can't make it up. But tomorrow's a new day, so we'll be back tomorrow. Other than that, thank you guys for watching.